Hi, I'm Bill Day. I'm a PPI representative in London, and I am involved in the ad hoc program with Anna.
Great to talk to you today, Bill. And can you tell what the ad hoc program is about?
Yeah, we're trying to find out whether getting patients more involved in online health communities would be beneficial in managing their own health, with particular regard from our point of view to asthma. There is a flourishing online health community which we're trying to direct people towards to see if it will really help them to manage their own conditions, not to replace their medical care, but to complement it and to give them some peer support.
Thank you, Bill. And what do you think about being the asthma nurse or the GP in primary care to invite and promote this sort of intervention to patients?
I think it should be a really good tool for all health providers to asthma in particular is a condition which you can't turn to a health professional at every turn, and sometimes you just need some support, some advice, some information. And the way I see the online health community is it's a huge resource. People who've got lived experience who can tell you, if your medication is not agreeing with you and you can't get hold of your doctor, perhaps all that kind of thing. Just real peer support, which you can't really get from your GP or a health provider at 24 hours a day, at least, anyway.
I think it's so insightful to hear about your experience where you were in accident and emergency.
Well, my own personal experience has been, I was admitted to hospital with asthma a few years ago now, thankfully. And I was put on a particular treatment which kept me up all night awake, and it made me quite anxious. And I was, and it was then that I did actually turn to the original Asthma UK forum and just chatted to people on there. Said, has anybody been on this particular medicine? Because I'm feeling anxious and it's making me feel jittery and I can't sleep. And I remember being bombarded. I mean, not Facebook style bombarded, but I'd have had 10 people straight in touch with me. Oh yeah, I've been on that, and yeah, it does. I couldn't sleep, and it made me feel anxious, and straight away that relieves the sort of stress from you, your own anxiety, because you realise it's not just you. This is what this particular treatment does to everybody who's on it, and with the best will in the world, you can't, call the nurse in the middle of the night every 10 minutes, say, I'm feeling anxious, what can I do? But just knowing that other people have had the same experience as you and have all been okay and have all felt better for it in the morning, it just makes it's indescribable, really, but it makes all the difference to your anxiety levels, which then I personally believe anxiety and stress, for me anyway, is a trigger for asthma. So it's a kind of self-defeating circle. So the more you can relieve your stress and anxiety, the better. And you say you can't always turn to your health providers to do that. So if you've got a community of peers who've got lived experience that they're willing to share with you, great. Why wouldn't you? It seems to me to be a very underused resource.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Thank you for sharing your experience. And you're already partly answering the other question, why patients with asthma should engage with an asthma online community?
Well, as I said, it's just there's a huge resource of lived experience from your peers who have been through, particularly people, I think, who are maybe newly diagnosed with asthma, or their asthma is worsening and their treatment is changing. There's a whole world, and it's all there. It's on your laptop, on your tablet, or on your telephone. And it's particularly great if you are a bit isolated, if you live alone, or if you're in hospital and you can't actually get to speak to your family or whoever you might turn to normally. And these are people who have done it. It's moderated by people. You're not going to be getting any terrible advice, I would hope. you know, there are people making sure that sort of thing doesn't happen. It's just, like I said, it's a real untapped, underused resource, I think, of advice and education, because any chronic illness, there, without any the likelihood of any wonder drug appearing tomorrow, education is the best thing you can do for yourself. Just to educate yourself that you're on the best medicine, you're taking the best steps to avoid your triggers, you're taking every precaution you can to look after your own health. And if you've got people who've done it helping you to do it, it can only be a good thing.
Fantastic. Thank you, Bill. And so the whole idea of what we are doing is really try to produce for the first time evidence whether this is actually really improving asthma control. And so we are going to do what is called a randomized trial. So
yeah, and I'm really pleased to be involved, because I think it's a terrific study. I think you've got you and your colleagues have got your work cut out to provide some really quantifiable evidence. But I truly believe in the long run, it can only be a benefit to people. And it's, you know, in the world of looking at cost effectiveness, it's you know, very low cost. And it's just, you know, there are people like myself who have suffered with asthma, are only too willing to pass on any information I can to somebody else. It might help them, might stop them suffering in a way I did for a little while. You know, if I can be of any help to anybody in that way, I'm really pleased to be able to. So it's, you know, the people who are on there offering advice, they're getting something out of it as well. They're getting the feel good factor of knowing they're helping people. Yeah, it's like I said, I think it's going to be a tough thing for you and your colleagues to actually put a number on, as it were, but I'm sure you can. And I'm pleased to be able to help.